So is it just me, or are you noticing a dip in Etsy sales this year? Well, I just want to put your mind at ease and say it's not just you. So there's many shop owners across Etsy that are reporting a lot lower sales than usual. But what's actually weird about this is that Etsy are reporting that there's more shoppers using the Etsy platform in 2023 than what there ever has been, which is really weird, right? So then you've got to ask yourself, well, what's changed? Over the last few months, I found out exactly what has changed. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact reasons why your Etsy sales have probably dropped. And then I'm also going to give you the solutions to how you get those sales back up, not just to where they were before, but a hell of a lot better than where they were before. So I've owned my Etsy shop for almost 2 years now, and I've already made more sales in 2023 than what I did in the whole of 2022 combined. And I did this by making just a very few small changes to my shop, all of which I'm going to share with you today. So I don't want to wait around, let's get straight into it. Okay, so starting with the first reason why your sales might have dipped, and this is just going to be because of seasonality. So this is perhaps one of the most obvious ones on the list, but I think it's probably something that a lot of beginner Etsy sellers especially won't have got to experience, and this is the full retail cycle. So if you take a look at this is a breakdown of a typical online sales chart per month. So you start off with the January sales, you get a little peak, and people are spending their Christmas money. That then falls into a bit of a slump season until it picks up again around the summertime, which then again slumps into the lead up to October, which is the first period where people who are very prepared start their Christmas shopping. And then finally, you get the absolutely beautiful months of November and December, which for me personally, make up around 50% of my yearly revenue, which is just absolutely crazy. So I mean, in addition to this standard chart, if your store is specifically selling seasonal items such as like Halloween masks or like Christmas decorations, for example, then of course you're going to get massively reduced sales for the other 9 to 10 months of the year. But you know what? If this is the case for your shop, it's a very simple fix. I'd recommend just researching some other holidays throughout the year that you can tap into. So this could maybe like St. Patrick's Day at the start of the year, or maybe like firework night at the end of the year. So look, there is options, but I think something to consider is always the standard seasonality cycle. So moving on to number 2 now, and this is going to be because your best listings are either sold out or currently inactive. All right, so say for example, one of your absolute top dog listings makes up around about 30% of your total sales or clicks through to your shop, okay? And you then take that listing out of the equation. This is gonna end up in a massive reduction in your clicks to your shop and subsequently sales. So this one listing might have been the key road, like the key pathway that people use to find your Etsy shop as well. So for example, people might click on this listing, go through to your Etsy shop and end up buying 3 or 4 other listings, for example. But if you don't have that one star listing available, then there's going to be no way that people are going to be able to get through to your shop and buy any of your other listings. So depending on your shop and the type of listings you sell, I really recommend keeping a close eye on your stock counters to make sure that your best sellers never go out of stock. And I'd also keep an even closer eye to make sure that you're not getting any copyright claims or intellectual property infringement claims frivolously made against you, getting your listings taken down, especially your best listings. And by the way, if this has ever been a concern to you, I'm going to link a video in the top right, wherever that's going to be, to a video that I made on exactly how to fight back against these frivolous copyright claims and make sure your best listings always stay up and they always get traffic to your shop. Okay, moving on to the third reason now why your sales might have dropped, and this is going to be because of those pesky competitors. All right, so you see your competitors putting a sale on or lowering their item price, and you just want to scream the computer down. Like, why are they always trying to undercut us? It's so annoying, but they always do. There's always somebody out there trying to undercut you. But to be honest, sadly, in reality, this could be a pretty real reason why your sales have dropped. And as you know yourself, customers are always looking for the best price, even if sometimes it means sacrificing on a little bit of product quality. However, I do think there's 2 ways to deal with this. So the first one's going to be, in most cases, to price match if you can. but always remember to never sell your time short. But then the other way, which I think is the better way, is going to be to actually increase your perceived value of the offering. So for example, a massive proportion of my revenue comes from selling handmade Japanese ramen bowls. However, there's lots of competitors on Etsy also selling handmade bowls, and some of them decide to put their prices a lot lower than mine. However, I know the value of my product, and there's no way that I can be lowering my prices to their levels. So what I did was I just increased the value of my offering. So instead of just selling a single ramen bowl, I added chopsticks, a chopstick rest, and a ramen spoon to create a 4-piece ramen set to give you everything that you need, rather than my competitors just selling a single ramen bowl. And what this actually enabled me to do was to put the price up ever so slightly. And this left me in a position where I had a far better product offering than my competitors. And there wasn't actually that much of a price difference. And for me, I'd still keeping a good eye on my margins, and I could still make margins that I was happy with. And then obviously what this essentially did was just blow my competitor out of the water, and now my ramen sets are some of my best selling products. So all I want to say to my competitors, thank you. And look, just for you or anybody listening, I'd always recommend trying to create the best product in your niche anyway, because if you've got the best product of the best quality at a reasonable price for the quality that you're offering, then everything's going to become so much easier. You're going to have a product which you're proud to sell, and customers are going to respect it, and customers are going to want to buy it more than your competition anyway. All right, so moving on to the fourth reason why your sales might have dipped, and this is purely because your negative reviews are absolutely killing you. All right, so this is just something that we've got to face, right? Negative reviews are going to destroy customer confidence in your shop, and they're definitely going to deter people away from buying your products. So sometimes even if you just have one super bad review which shows up at the top, a lot of people in this world will see that bad review. Even if you've got hundreds of 5-star reviews underneath that, they'll see the 1-star review, they'll look at if there was anything bad said, and they'll just go straight off your product. That's just a harsh reality of selling online. And if you want to find out how to get an incredible review score and get those 5-star reviews rolling in, then again, I've did another video on this, and I'll link that wherever it's going to be in one of the corners now. And another reason why 5-star reviews are super important in 2023 is because they count towards the new Etsy Star Seller badge. And could be another reason why your sales are lacking, because if all of your competitors or your main competitors have these Star Seller badges and you don't, then this is really going to put you behind the competition. And this ties perfectly into number 5. And this is because you're not a star seller whilst all of your competitors are. Okay, so the Etsy Star Seller badge is the little purple circle with a little star inside that shows up by your shop name on all of your listings, and it does separate you from the competition. However, if you're not a star seller and all of your competitors are, then this is going to separate you, but in a negative way, and it's definitely going to lead to buyers choosing your competitors' products over you. So look, since this Etsy Star Seller system was introduced in late 2021, I believe it was, star sellers have been getting more and more SEO privileges every single year. It's something that Etsy are really focusing on, and they're really trying to push forward the star sellers. So if you're in 2023 and you're still not an Etsy star seller, then this is going to be a real reason why your sales have decreased, and probably your competitors' sales who are star sellers have increased. So basically the star seller system is just to reward Etsy shops that have got super speedy replies to customer messages. They send all their orders out on time with tracking, and they've got an exceptional review score. So I mean, if you're Etsy, you can kind of see why you'd want to promote the star seller shops, right, ahead of shops which maybe don't have this social proof behind them. So if you're falling down because you're not a star seller, this is basically just because in Etsy's mind, there's better sellers out there than you, and you're not one of the better shops, and that's just the reality of the game. So this is why I really would push as much as you can to become an Etsy star seller, because then it's just one thing that's out the way, which you don't have to worry about anymore, and it's not something which is going to hold you back against your competitors. Okay, so moving on to the last point now, and this is going to be simply because of external economic factors. Okay, so I don't know how much detail I really need to go into this one, but times are tough in 2023, and especially for people that live in the UK, like myself, because our daily weather forecast is always rain, with a massive chance of inflation of late. And look, to be honest, with the rising cost of living, I can fully understand why a lot more people are spending a lot less money. But look, in times like this, it is important to remember that people spending less money is totally normal and it's totally understandable as well. So I would actually look at this from a different direction as an Etsy seller. I wouldn't be complaining or being too upset that we're getting less sales. And what I would actually do, so something I've done personally, is to actually help people in this situation who can't afford to buy gifts, for example, is to actually put some items on sale. So just reduce your price ever so slightly. Okay, maybe it's gonna hit our pockets a little bit, but if it means that some people out there who maybe, because times are so tough, they couldn't afford a gift, especially in the lead up to Christmas, if this even just helps them a little bit to be able to afford to buy something from your shop, then I think, at the end of the day, it's not all about money and it's not all about sales. So look, if your sales have remained steady or even just remained average or flatline throughout 2023, then in my personal opinion, I would say you don't have too much to worry about. However, I think there's a lot that you can definitely capitalize on this year. So while your competitor sales are dropping and less people are shopping at your competitors, I think now is the time to act, and now is the time that you can really start to push up and be at the top of your niche. So if you like my content and you think there's some value in what I'm putting out, then don't be scared to hit the subscribe button on my channel. I'm pretty new to YouTube, but I'm trying to improve my videos as I go along, and I'm just trying to put out at least 2 videos a week, so at a minute Monday, Thursday, and I just want to give as much value to you as possible. So yeah, don't be scared to subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate you watching as always, and see you on the next one.